Okay, so this week we're gonna cover number memorization. So I'll be teaching you guys how you can memorize any sequence of numbers. So it can be numbers for, let's say you're studying for the MCAT, you can memorize any number related to the content you're studying. If you're studying for the LSAT, you can use those numbers to memorize like the indices of something. If you're studying for anything that involves numbers, you're going to learn how you can encode them in your memory palace, basically. Okay, so we learned how to memorize words, right? And to do that, we convert them into images, and then we put those images in a memory palace. That's usually how we would do if we were going to memorize a list of words, as we did in the last lecture. We memorized like a bunch of countries. We also memorized a shopping list, a grocery list, and we basically picked each item of the list, converted into an image, and put that image in a memory palace, right? And we can do something similar to numbers. That's what we would like to do. However, how can we convert numbers into images? If you have, let's say, you want to memorize a bunch of digits of pi, how can you convert all those digits into images? Because you could see a bunch of digits as a list of numbers, right? As much as you would see, let's say, a text as a list of words. But how are you going to put that into images? How are you going to convert that into images? So I'm going to teach first a very simple system, which is called the shaper system. And then we're going to cover the major system, which is the real deal. So the shaper system is an introductory system for us to get used to this idea. So the shaper system consists of converting each digit from 0 to 9 to a lookalike image. And after we convert each digit of a number into an image and memorizing them using the memory palace, we can recall the original digit and the original number as a whole by recalling and decoding those images. So right now, we have, for instance, if you had a list of digits for you to memorize, you could convert each digit to one that looks like that. So let's say the digit 0, every time you saw the digit 0, the image that you would use to represent it, well, you would ask yourself, what does 0 look like? And you can think, well, it looks like an egg. So every time I see the digit 0, I'm going to imagine an egg. And I'm going to use it to represent the digit 0. If I want to memorize the digit 1, I'm going to use a magic wand, for instance. If 2, well, 2 looks like a duck, let's say. 3, let's say, looks like a butterfly. 4, you can say, well, kind of a little bit harder, but let's say it looks like a chair in your head. A 5 looks like a unicycle. You look at it and you're like, well, it looks like a unicycle. 6 looks like a golf club. 7, you may think looks like a boomerang. And 8 looks like a snowman. And 9 looks like a balloon. So these relationships would be made by yourself, but this is just a template. This is just an example. And you can create your own connections to make the shaper system. But notice that we are making this list prior to memorizing the digits, so that when we go to memorize the digits, we don't actually need to spend time thinking of the images. So when we memorize words, there are too many words in the world for us to create an image for each one of them. But for numbers, they're already well defined, so we can make pre-made lists for us to memorize them more quickly. So let's memorize. Okay, that's a very quick introduction. So let's start with the real thing. Let's start to practice this. So we're going to memorize the first 10 decimal places of pi. The first 10 decimal places are 1415926535. These are the first 10 decimal places. You don't need to memorize the 3 because, come on, you know that it starts with 3. So we are going to focus only on the decimal places. And as always, we need to prepare our memory palace first. So I want you guys to choose a place to be the memory palace of today, to memorize pi, and define a route with 10 positions. Okay, so that's the first thing we're gonna do. So choose a place, think of a place, write that down. Okay, so write down on a notebook or on a laptop, but choose a place in your head. Think maybe a house of a friend's house, somewhere like, I would recommend a house first. We are beginning, so let's choose houses are usually good places to choose. And I want you to choose a route, and in this route, I want you to choose 10 positions. Okay. So do not worry about this part yet. Focus only on making the memory palace. And I'll give you guys some minutes. And when you guys are done, raise your hands for me to know that you have chosen the 10 positions. But make sure to write the positions down. We're going to use them later. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So, as I said in the last lecture, when you choose a memory palace, it's always good to put around 5 positions per room. That's usually a good number. So it can be 3, 4, 5. That's usually a good range. So you can think, you can first choose the rooms you're gonna use, and then you choose the positions. That's usually a good strategy. So you choose let's say you pick a house, then you think, well, I need 10 positions. So if I put around 5 on each room, then I'm gonna choose just 2 rooms. And if that's not enough, maybe I need to put like fewer because maybe there aren't that many places there. Then I can choose like a third place. So you choose like 2 rooms, and then you go to each room. Okay, I'm gonna choose 5 positions in this room, and then 5 positions in that other. That's usually goes better. Are you guys done? Yeah. Anyone still doing it? Anyone still choosing the positions? Everyone's done? Okay, so let's go. So now we gotta memorize that. So the idea is to memorize the first 10 digits. So the idea is we're gonna visualize 2 images per locus to make it more efficient. So instead of putting just 1 image in each locus, in each position, so locus means position, we are gonna put 2 of those images. Remember, we need to remember the digits in order. So if you don't remember the order that you put the digits there, then you're gonna make a mistake, right? So I recommend you to put from left to right so that you can remember the left one is the first digit and the right one is the next digit, it's the second digit, so that you are gonna look at the position at the locus the same way as you would read the page of a book. So the same way you would read something. So now that you have a memory palace with 10 positions, in each position we're going to place 2 images. So I wrote down the 10 first digits of pi, and we're going to and the corresponding images, and we're going to put in each position of the memory palace those images. So you at each pair, you're going to look at it and ask yourself, what is a funny, fun, weird, disgusting, lustful, or whatever image that I can make with these 2? So whatever you can make involving emotions is going to be memorable. So your goal is to go step by step, so pair by pair, and try to make an image. And when you think of an image, go with the first thing that comes to your head. It's usually a good one. And then you pick that and put in the locus. Imagine happening in that locus. And you go moving locus by locus, position by position, putting each of the images. And then you finish the 5 first positions of the memory palace. So imagine the first position, for instance, we have a magic wand and a chair. So what funny, weird image could you imagine between a magic wand and a chair? And any ideas of that? Any suggestions? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Sure, say it.
So the first thing that I thought of was like a magic wand that was kind of sentient, trying to make the chair also sentient.
Okay, a magic wand that's sentient, trying to make the chair also sentient. Okay. Any other ideas? Sure. What? Broomstick? Uh-huh. The broomstick for the magic wand. Now try to connect that to the chair, because we need to remember the magic wand and the chair. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay. Any other ideas? Sure.
I thought of like a huge gnome that's like sitting in a chair and has a little magic wand.
Okay. A huge gnome sitting on a chair and has a magic wand. Okay. One thing for you guys to remember is that we need to remember these digits in order. So when you look at the position at the locus, the wand needs to be on the left and the chair needs to be on the right. Like it needs to be more to the right. The chair needs to be more to the right than the magic wand, so that you know that the magic wand comes first, basically. So that you don't switch the order and then you make a mistake when you're recalling. So one image I would think is maybe a magic wand that's sentient licking a chair. Maybe a magic wand eating a chair. Anything bizarre like that. Anything that would come from a twisted mind like mine. So it's really, yeah, I think this is really something that comes with time, I'd say. But you get the idea, right? So the magic wand is on the left of the chair. It's sentient and it's licking the chair like a psycho. And you can think of that to all the other images as well. When you guys finish them, I recommend you guys to write that down, write your images down next to where you wrote the locus. Each position, you write down the image right next to the locus so that you can see it later. And try to visualize it vividly in your head. Who here finished it? Anybody here finished the all the 5 images? Okay. Did you? Great. Birthday duck. Birthday duck. What is a birthday duck? No, what is a birthday duck? Like a... Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. How would you imagine that weirder?
More weirder.
Yes. Every time you think of an image, ask yourself, can I make this weirder? Can I make this more bizarre? Can I make this something that would get censored? You know, something that I could not put on TV. You know, like something that could not be shared publicly, like in an environment. You know, something you would not go to a playground and tell kids. You know, anything that's bizarre, grotesque, weird is memorable. You know, so if you make an image and you feel like you can't tell me, it means it's great. Okay, it means that it's awesome because it's going to be memorable. Um, it doesn't mean that all images that are memorable cannot be told, but definitely images that cannot be told, they're memorable. You know, but like, but I'm not saying that your image is not good. I'm saying that because we are beginners, we are learning. It's good for us to develop this skill because this one is the hardest one to develop. Is to have a free creativity, and I feel like most of our lives we are told to um, stop our creativity and give it limits. This is wrong. You cannot think of that. How dare you think of such a weird thing? And here I'm telling you the opposite. So this is a very hard skill to develop. Which image are you guys in? If you guys need help with any one of those, I can help. Okay. I can give ideas of twisted and awful images for you to think of. And when you finish all the 5 images, raise your hand. Okay.
What about 4, 6? I'm having trouble with the 6, 5, the gold club.
Okay, the golf club and the unicycle. Mm, you could imagine when it's 2 objects, it's harder than when it's a person and an object. So usually I would imagine the one of the objects as sentient, because this makes it more memorable because it gets cartoonish, and also you get the ability to create actions, right? To create interactions, and that also makes it more memorable. So for a golf club and a unicycle, I would imagine maybe you can imagine a sentient golf club riding a unicycle. You could imagine that you are picking a golf club, and then you can imagine yourself joining the picture. You pick a golf club and you're smashing a unicycle angrily. And if you want to make this more memorable, you can imagine the unicycle is sentient and you're smashing it, and it's terrified. So you can make it weirder in these ways. Um, but yeah, these are some ideas. Many things you could imagine with a golf club and unicycle. It's just hard to think at first. Also, is it fine? Too. You arrived a little bit later. Like, do you need me to explain something else? Like something that.
I also take the slides.
Hmm? Okay. Because we are memorizing the first 10 digits. So you first choose a memory palace, a place, you know, and we're gonna do just like the last lecture. You choose 10 positions. So in that memory palace you choose. So imagine a house of a friend or something, and choose 10 positions, and then you create one image for each one of those pairs and put in each position of the memory palace. There are going to be 5 remaining positions that we're going to use later, but you put like we have just 5 here. We use the first 5 positions, and then 5 we're going to use later in the class. But in this way, you're going to be capable of memorizing the first 10 digits of pi. Okay. So which images are you guys at? Anyone else finished already? Okay. 35.
I put, instead of butterfly, it's the lips.
Lips, that works.
I just put a freaky unicycle, so it's like it has a mouth on the seat
Mhm.
rather than.
That's nice. That's nice. You can imagine you're sitting on it. That makes it more memorable, definitely. So that would make it more memorable. And so just imagine that scene happening in your memory palace. Definitely, that's not something you've done before. So who has ever sit on a unicycle that has lips? So your mind is gonna be like, "Ooh, I've never done that. That's definitely memorable." And so that's the secret to have a good memory. You just have no limits to your creativity. So, are you guys done? Can we move on? Anyone is still working on that? Are we done? Okay, so let's recall the images. So I want you guys to close your eyes and recall the images, not the digits. So we go to the memory palace you chose, and we're gonna choose we're gonna go to the first position. What is the first image in that position? Say out loud. The one, yes. So I want you guys to say the image, the image that represents to the digit. So yeah, the magic wand is the first image, and together with it we have a chair. Awesome. Now we go to the next position. What is the first image? Magic wand. Awesome. And what is the other image? Okay, unicycle. Awesome. We go to the next position. What is the first image? Yeah, it's a balloon. Yeah. And yes, and the next one is a duck. We go to the next position. What is the first image? Okay. Golf club and a unicycle. And then the next one? Butterfly or lips? Yes, and the unicycle. Awesome. So, anyone had trouble recalling them? Was it difficult? Did everybody manage to recall them, the images?
I think it was kind of like mixing up the 14 and 13, just because they both have magical wands.
Okay.
Just like pairing them all together.
I see. But are the images you created similar? Okay. So now let's try to recall the digits instead. So now instead of recalling the images, we're going to recall the digits. So close your eyes. And what is the first digit? 1. Next digit? Yeah, 4. The next digit? What is the next digit? Next? Try to recall the image first. What is the image?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a balloon.
so,
Yeah, balloon is 9.
and then it's 2.
Yeah. So after the balloon, which is 9, we have a duck, right? And the duck is 2. Now we go to the next position. What do we have? What is 6? Yes. So we have a golf club, so it's 6. The next digit is 5. The next digit is 3. The next digit is awesome. So now we recall all the first 10 digits of pi. Let's go again because it can be a little bit harder at first. So I want you guys to go as fast as you can. So let's go again. We go to the first position, first digit. 1. Next. 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 Awesome. So I want you guys to recall from the images that you memorized, that you imagine. Let's go again. The first digit. Next. 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 Awesome. Beautiful. So see, we basically what we did is that we use images to represent the digits. And the idea is that with time, you would look at the image in your memory palace and you would automatically convert that to a digit, right? So that theoretically, with time, would become like a second nature. Okay, you would create this connection between the image and the digit would become so strong that it would become just a second nature. We would see that and we would basically see the number. It would be very quick. This system, however, has a few problems. But before I cover them, what did you guys think of it? How did you guys feel about this? Sure.
It was good in the sense I feel like I did remember, like, because there were different positions, moving through them in the same order was helpful. But I also found myself at the same time kind of forgetting things we had in some memory class and all, like imagining a different memory class than the first one, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It was suddenly in a new place, so I felt like I was confused.
Mhm.
But all the positions were the same. Like I was still moving in the same order that I looked at it in a different space.
Were you familiar with the place you chose?
The first one, yeah.
What about this one?
The new one?
Yeah.
No. It was just like imaginary.
Oh, it was an imaginary place.
Yeah, because of I think my mind just went there because of all the images being imaginary. I don't know why.
Oh, I see. We can use imaginary place, but it's very hard. So it's always better to choose a place you know well, like a place you visited, and then when you close your eyes, you can see the place very, very easily. It's usually better to pick a place we know very well. So you could choose, let's say, you choose a friend you've been to their house before, and then you pick their house. You know, and you pick something that you can close your eyes and walk there. Maybe you choose, let's say, someone's dorm you've been to, something like that. So here's the thing: the shaper system, it's very cool, but it has some problems. So the first problem is that each image represents a single digit. So we will need tons of images to memorize long sequences of digits. So if you wanted to memorize, let's say, 1,000 digits of pi, you would need 1,000 images, which would be very, very long. And for longer sequences, the images will repeat many, many times, which makes the images less memorable, right? Because the more repetition you have, the less unique each image is going to be. And since we only have 10 images, we also don't have much freedom for all the things we could imagine. There are only so many things you can imagine with a chair or with a magic wand. It's still limited. So to solve these problems, I'm going to introduce the major system. And this is really one of the biggest highlights of the art of memory, of the field of memorization. Because today we're going to learn a new language. And that's amazing. That's so cool. So you're going to know another language. So look, we're going to use a system that converts digits into consonant sounds. And we're going to use the consonant sounds to form words. And we're going to use the memory palace to memorize those words. So each word is going to be encoding a certain sequence of digits, right? And by visualizing that word, when we see that image in the memory palace, we're going to see it, we're going to remember its name, and we're going to convert back to digits, basically. So you're going to be capable of reading the digits from the names of the images in your memory palace. This way, you're going to be capable of memorizing multiple digits using a single image instead of using one digit per image, right? As we were doing with the shaper system. And as I said before, the shaper system was taught just as an introduction. So the major system is really something that really solves all the problems that we had before with the shaper system, but it's a little bit more complex. So that's why I taught the shaper system first, for us to get a sense of what it means to memorize numbers. So here's the major system, which is a little bit confusing. So this is the crux of this class. So we have the idea is that we're going to convert each of these digits from 0 to 9 to certain consonant sounds. Okay, and we're going to pick those sounds to form words. So the digit 0 is represented by the sound s, or of s, se, si, sos, anything like that. The sound of z, za, ze, zi, zozu. The soft c, which is pretty much the sound of s. And as a mnemonic, you can use the fact that the z is the first letter of 0. So that the third column is just mnemonics for you to remember easily the relationship between digit and sound. So z is the first letter of 0. So z, s, all 0. They all represent 0. 1 is represented by t, the sound of t, d, or th. T, d, t, th. 2, n, na, na, ni, no, nu. M, m, me, mi, mo. 4, r, re, r, any sound of r. 5, l, la, le, li, lo, anything like that. 6 are all these sounds. So basically anything like sh, ch. So if it's ch, sh, j, je, ji, jo, ju, ch, che, anything like that. Anything that makes this sh. 7 is k, or the sound of hard c, which is basically the sound of k. Hard g, like ga, ge, gi, gog, and hard ch, which is basically the sound of k. Q, q, u, basically sound of k and sound of hard g, which is ga, ge, gi, gogu, basically. So ka, ke, ki, koku, ga, ge, gi, gogu, all represent 7. 8 is sound of f and v, fa, ve, vi, vovu, fa, fe, fi, fofu. 9, p or b, pa, pe, pi, popu, ba, be, bi, bobu, basically. And the sounds that are ignored are the vowel sounds, w, h, and y. So ha, he, hi, ho, hu don't mean anything. U doesn't mean anything. Y doesn't mean anything. W, all these sounds don't represent anything. Okay, vowels don't represent anything. So what are the mnemonics? So for 1, D and T, they have one single downstroke, and TH sounds similar. So that's how we remember. Okay, T and D represent the number 1. They have one single downstroke, each one of them. N has 2 downstrokes, so it represents 2. 3 is represented by M because M has 3 downstrokes. 4 and R are almost mirror images of each other. So if you pick R and you mirror it, they look similar. So R is 4. L is the Roman numeral for 50. So remember, L is 5. G, which is basically the soft G, ja, je, ji, jo, or anything like that, looks like an upside down 6. Cursive J looks kind of like a 6, so you can use that. 7, the capital K looks just like 2 7 stuck together, so you have 1 7 here, 1 7 here, so they look like 2 7s together, so you can remember that. The cursive F looks like an 8, so I do not know if you guys, I heard that in America you guys don't learn cursive necessarily, right? But like it's like, so that's V is you just vocalize that. I'm gonna mention something as well. For P and B, P looks like mirror image of 9. B looks like P, just rotated. So and here we have just reflected. And here we have the vowel sounds don't mean anything. So this is a lot of information, but you just need to remember half of them. Okay, you just need to remember half because the other are pairs. So notice that I want you guys to touch your throat now. Touch your throat. Here. Touch your throat. So I want you to say the sound of T. T, 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 t. Now I want you to say the sound of D. D. Now let's go to S and Z. It's easier to see it. Make the sound of S. Now do the Z. Do you see that when you say the Z, it vibrates? So S and Z, they are phonetic pairs. So one is vocalized, the other is not. So S, Z, Z, they are pairs. They represent the same digit. For T and D, they're also phonetic pairs. So t, 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 does not vocalize, does not vibrate. It vibrates. TH sounds the same thing. If you do th, does not vibrate, it vibrates. For N, M, R, they're alone. L, they're alone. But when we go to 6, we have the same phenomenon. So sh does not vibrate. Sh. If you do sh, it vibrates. So go sh, it vibrates. If we do ch, does not vibrate. J, it vibrates. So all of them, they cluster together in the 6. For the 7, k, does not vibrate. G, it vibrates. 8, F does not vibrate. V, it vibrates. For 9, P, does not vibrate. B, it vibrates. So there are phonetic pairs in that sense. All these connections we're going to learn right now, today. Okay, so we're going to do some examples for us to practice. So here are some examples. We're going to convert word to number. So we have door represent 1, 4. Why is that? Because the sound D represents 1. The R of door represents 4. Book, we have B is 9. K is 7. Right? Hook is 47. Why is that? Sure.
The 7 is the K, because the chart said that the K was a group that you said.
Yeah.
I forgot why the H is 4 though. Like why the H is.
Remember, some of them do not. Some of the letters do not represent anything. H is one of those. So the one that's representing the 4 here is the L. So hook, the sound of H does not mean anything. But the L, hook, this L represents 4. Sorry, it represents wait, oh no, I put 47. It's supposed to be, oh no, it's supposed to be, actually, this is actually supposed to be 57. I'm sorry. My system is a little bit different, so I did make this mistake because of that from the current slide. So this is actually 57, okay? Yes, the L is 5. So here, the H does not mean anything, and the L represents 5. So Hulk is 57. For axe, why is axe 70? Remember, the major system is about sounds, not about letters. So the letter X, you need to ask yourself, what is the sound? So you're not trying to think of the letters, but you're trying to think of the sounds. So if you hear axe, what is the sound that it makes? Axe. Yeah, a KS sound. It's just axe. A K and an S sound. K is 7, the S is 0. Night. Why is night 21? Yes. So night, the N is 2 and the T is 1. And the K doesn't mean anything because it's silent. So night. You're thinking only about the sounds. And puppy, for instance. Why is puppy 99 and not 999? Why do we not add a third 9 there? Sure. Yes, the two P's make only one sound. So we're not thinking about the number of letters, we're thinking about the number of, about the sounds, right? So that's why it does not matter if we have multiple repeated letters and if they're making a single sound. So door is 14, books 97, Hulk is 57, axe 79, 21, puppy 99. And now I want you guys to do these here. I want you guys to do these exercises and try to convert these into digits. We need to, yeah. So we're gonna cover them right now, and I want you guys to write down what each one of those mean, and then we're gonna come back. So bow would be, let's do just a few of them together. So bow is close, 9. It's a 9. So bow would be a 9. Ace, what it would be? 0. Yes. So ace would be 0. Lira, 5-4. Awesome. So now I'm gonna let you guys finish them. If you guys wrote down the connections between digit and sounds, that's good. But I want you guys to spend some time. Do not look at the table. If you wrote them down, do not look right away. Give some time. Struggle a little with it. Try to recall from your own memory, and then we come back and we see all of them. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys some minutes to work on them. And if you didn't write them down, you can ask me for help if you get stuck in one of them. When you finish them, raise your hand. When you finish converting them. So we're converting all of them to digits. So we did bow, ace, and lira. So bow is 9 because of the sound of B. Ace is 0 because of the sound of S, ace. And lira is 5-4 because the L and the R. And now the rest with you guys. And if you, I would recommend you to try. Do not, if you wrote the table down, do not look at it first. Struggle a little bit with it first. But if you get stuck for too long, you can ask me. And when you're done, you raise your hand. And make sure to write down your translation so that later we can check. How many of you reached beam already? Okay. When you are done, you just raise your hand. Anyone else also done? If you get stuck in one specific sound, you can also let me know.
Are we doing it all the way to enough?
Yes, all the way to enough.
What's the SH sound?
SH, the sh sound, is 6. By the way, the major system was not created by me. Just making sure everyone knows that. That's a very famous system in memorization. I didn't just invent this and I'm telling you guys to learn this. Like, I just learned this thing I invented. No, it's like, it's an actual, very popular system in memorization. Okay. F8. Remember the cursive. G, the sound of G, G is 7. Just like the K. K. It's the pair. K, G. They're pairs, so it's 7. But if it's G like J, then it's 6. J, J, G, Jo. Okay, who here already got to beam? Okay. Who here already got to flight? Okay. I'm gonna give other 2 minutes, and then we close. Again, if you're stuck, just let me know. Then we. Can I show the answers? Is it fine? Okay, so here are the answers. Please ignore the Hulk one because my system is a little bit different from my personal one, so I probably confused that yesterday late at night, but it's 5, 7. Okay, so bow is 9, ace is 0, lira 54, 81 for void, nail 25, photo, and blah, blah, blah. Which one did you guys make a mistake at? Void, what did you say it was? 89. So D, 1 downstroke, just like the T, it's 1. Okay. Any other mistakes? It's good for us to share the mistakes so that other people can like also strengthen their connections. Flight. So you said flight? Which mistake did you make? The 5, yes. Yeah, the L. It can be tricky, yes. So flight, there's an L there, a sound of L. Since if it was fight, it would be 81. Any other mistakes? Nail? Yes, another one. Yes. Nail. If it was nay, it would be 2 because nail, there's the L sound, so it's 25. Any other mistakes? Sure. Enough. Yeah. Remember, it's not about the letters, it's about the sounds. So I chose enough because it's a very tricky word. So enough. Do not look at the word, but try to hear it. So for all the words, our goal is not to see the word, it's about hearing the word. So enough. Enough. It's the N sound, na, ina, the F sound. So 2 for n and f for 8. So enough. 28. Sure. Photo? Yes. Photo, the same thing because it's PH, but what matters is the sound. So photo, it's the F sound and to. So it's a T sound. So photo, 8-1. Now we have all these new words for us to work on. These words, they are tricky. So I chose them because they are tricky. So we have exam, exit, mission, I, xylophone, church, east, letter, chemist, ghost, tooth, sugar, comb, whale, and who. These are tricky, and I'm going to give you guys some minutes to work on them. Again, any questions you guys have, let me know. But like try to recall from your head first. Give it some minutes. Try to force your brains to recall each connection in your head. And then we come back together again for us to think. The goal is that at the end of the class, you should have the connections memorized in your head without the need to look at the list. So the goal is when you leave this class, you need to be capable of like making the connection in your head for each one of them. Okay? So that's why you should not be just looking at the list you wrote. If you copy the list I showed, you should not be looking at it all the time, because the goal is that you're not going to have the list with you when you're memorizing in real life. So you want to have that as a second nature, right? Oh, you didn't say anything? Exam, exit, mission, I, xylophone, church, east, letter, chemist, ghost, tooth, sugar, comb, whale, who. Don't look at the writing. You can close your eyes and just hear the sound. Just say it in your head. Like east, comb, mission. Think about the sounds. The major system is all about the sounds, not about the letters. So if you don't know how to spell, imagine you don't know how to spell, basically. Imagine imagine you suck at spelling bee. So you just suck horribly at spelling bee. That's our goal, because the letters can be distracting. You should focus only on the sounds. And when you're done, raise your hands. Because after we finish this, then we're gonna do the opposite order. We're gonna look at digits and try to think of words to represent them. And if you're done, I can go and check if your work is correct, so that you don't need to wait all the way to see if you made a mistake or not. Xylophone. Em português é xilofone, mas em inglês é xylophone.
Esse aqui não vai ter som, né?
Ah, o que você falou?
Esse aqui não vai ter som, né?
O que é isso?
Não. Eu esqueci.
Não é som de R, é som de T. O fonema não é R. É T. É porque em português o nosso R é parecido com T americano. Mas esse não é um R, esse é um T, na verdade. Então,
Não,
o último é um 4.
Ah, tá.
Isso. Então, o tipo lottery, Esse T é um. Esse na verdade não é um R. Esse daqui também não é um F. Não é som de F. É aqui, ó. Tooth. Não é tooth. Pronúncia de inglês aí.
Acho que esse episódio
É como se fosse um. É igual T.
Ah, tá.
Como se fosse um normal. Pra você ver, eu aposto que eles não vão errar isso. Pra você ter ideia. Eles não vão confundir. Porque o som deles, eles sabem que o som é. Mas como a gente fala português, é confuso às vezes. Às vezes tem que adaptar mesmo. Mas aí fica a sua escolha. Eu recomendo você não. Eu recomendo você seguir o letter que usa como se fosse um.
Mas, por exemplo, o som não muda no português, né? Tipo,
Como assim, som?
esse major system não
Ele não muda. Não, eu mudei o meu por escolha própria. Eu escolhi o som de H como se ele fosse som de R. E aí eu adicionei pro 4. Mas por isso que eu errei o hook. Por isso que eu confundi, porque o meu é diferente. Aí eu devo ter confundido ontem, eu tava escrevendo de noite, eu acabei confundindo. Que o hook é 4, 5, 7. No sistema eu coloquei 47 sem querer. Com, também com, não tem som de B. Porque é com, não é comb. Então é 7, 3. Por isso que eu escolhi o com, porque é um confuso mesmo. Whale é 5, perfeito. Who? Qual que é o som que tem?
R.
Isso é por causa que a gente fala português. Mas esse som de H. Não
Então
tem
não
som.
tem,
Não tem nada. Não é ro. É ro. Ru. Não é ru. É ru.
R.
Então, é porque no português isso é som de
E
R.
como que você vê?
Isso é som de H, ru. Não é ru. Aí como a gente fala português, eu tomei a decisão de como o nosso R inclui o som de H, eu decidi que como o nosso R no português inclui o som de H, eu decidi usar o H para representar 4 também. Então é uma escolha que você tem que fazer. Mas aí você tem que ser consistente para sempre. E aí é uma escolha sua. Eu escolhi que H iria representar 4. Para mim. Eu acho que faz mais sentido. E isso me ajuda bastante nos meus sistemas também. Então pode colocar Ru como 4. Mas aí você tem que ser consistente. E o letter, eu recomendo que você esse som de T não é R. Usa como. Eu usaria como 1, mas também é uma escolha sua. Porque soa muito como o nosso R também. Tipo, árabe. Esse R nosso parece muito, né, com o T deles, quando eles juntam 2 T's no letter. Mas é uma escolha sua. Aí eu prefiro usar como T, porque não é um som de R. A gente fala como R, mas foneticamente eu acho que eles são diferentes. Mas é bem sutil a diferença. Eu acho que o nosso ouvido brasileiro não consegue entender a diferença. Eu também não consigo ouvir a diferença, mas eu sei que tem uma diferença fonética. E como a letra que eles usam é representada pelo T, eu decidi usar como 1, mas é uma escolha sua. Eu usaria como 1, mas é opcional. Anyone else finished and would like to get it checked? Okay. Huh?
I'm stuck on I.
It doesn't have any. Which sound does it have? None. Nothing. No words represent anything. So it's nothing. Sure. Okay. We'll check.
It starts from exam.
Exam. So what is the number? Exam. Mission. Xylophone. Church. East. Ladder. Chemist. Ghost. Tooth. Sugar. Calm. Night. Whale. Awesome. Anyone else finished? Would like to get it checked? Sure. Okay, so we're here. Exit, nice, mission, xylophone. Xylophone. What is the sound?
It's 8.
Yes.
Yeah. I got that mixed up.
Okay, great. Church. Ch. Ch. Ch.
It's not 7.
That's not 7.
Would it be 6?
Yes.
Okay.
So 6 is pretty much anything that sounds like a broken radio.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that sounds like a broken radio.
Okay.
So church would be
6, 4, 6.
yes.
So then
Exactly.
what's the hard CH sound?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
What is the hard CH sound?
It's ka.
Cut.
Like we got here, chemist.
And then what's the hard G sound?
Ga. Ga.
So what's the soft G sound?
The soft G is J, like G. The letter G,
Okay.
the way we pronounce it, it's G. That's the soft G. So east, yeah, letter, chemist, ghost, tooth, sugar, comb. Here, comb. Comb. What are the sounds that are there?
K.
And
7.
comb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do we say the b?
I guess not.
Okay. This is a tricky one. Like when we learn English, as a foreigner, we tend to pronounce everything, right? So for me, it's hard to know.
Yeah.
But you're American, right?
Yeah.
So I guess this is something it's probably because you confuse the letter the letter with the sound exactly. So well, it's 5. Nothing. Great. Anyone else wants to check it? So can we show the answers, or do you guys want more time? Show the answers? Okay, so let's go. So these are the answers. We have exam, exit, 701, mission. I is nothing because it doesn't have any of the sounds we had. Xylophone, church, east, letter, chemist, ghost, tooth, sugar, comb, whale, who. Notice I doesn't have any of the sounds we care about, so it's nothing. The same for who, right? And we have here that we had for, where's the one I wanted to talk about? Xylophone, but there's another one I want to mention. It's comb. So comb, notice that comb, we don't pronounce the B. So it's comb. We don't say comb. So if you said comb, it would be 739. But because we don't say the B, it's 7-3 only. So as I said, it's all about the sounds it makes. Okay? So yeah. What mistakes did you guys make? And you want to share? Added a 9 to comb. Yeah, that's very common because we would not pronounce the B because it's silent. We don't say it. Just like night. Church. So church. Anything that sounds like a broken radio is 6. So sh, sh, ch, ch, ch. Anything like that. J, 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 anything like that. Broken radio 6. Anything like that? Any other mistake?
The EX sound.
The what?
EX sound, like exam and exit.
Oh yeah, exam. Which mean
I didn't add the zeros.
the zeros? Yes. Exam, exit. So X is such a funny word, such a funny letter because it has many different sounds and many different possible sounds. So we have exam, egg, zam. So it's like egg is 7, zam.
So you're breaking up the E and the X phonemes?
We are thinking only about the consonant sounds, but yes, like the g, because the X has 2 sounds on it in these words.
Okay, so it's like KS.
Yes, in exit it's the KS. Exam it's the G, Z sound. like exam. And this g is paired with the k, so it's 7-2. So exam. So g 7 z 0 3 exam. Sure. East. So the y means nothing. The y doesn't represent anything. The s is 0 and the t is 1. What would be your question? East. So we think east. So it's east. The s sound 0. T is 1. You see? So the y doesn't mean anything. Yeah. East. Sure.
What about for
Xylophone. So the X here is just a Z sound. Xy. So Z, it's 0. Xy, L, L, 5. Fo, F sound, 8. N, 2. So xylophone. So if you break down, which part did you mess up? Was it the X?
yeah, the beginning and the end.
Yes.
I have 5 and 8, but I wasn't sure.
Yes. So all about the sounds. We could, if we were trying to write it differently with another, we would use a Z. If we were not going to use an X to write xylophone, we would probably use a Z, right? That's the sound it makes. So that's what we care about, just the sound. Any other mistakes you would like to share?
Why is not?
Who is nothing because it's just the H sound. Who. The H, ha, he, ho, who means nothing. Okay. In my system, personal system, I make the little bit difference, and that's why I messed up with the hoke, because in my personal system, H means something, but for you guys, it doesn't. So H sound means nothing. Means nothing. So hoke again, it's 5-7. I'm gonna change that before I post the slides today. But yeah, who is nothing. In Portuguese, we use the H sound we use the letter R to represent the H sound. So when I adapted it to Portuguese, when I was learning a few years ago, I made the decision to use it to represent 4 too, because to incorporate in Portuguese. And now I messed up today because I was showing to you guys. But because you're English speakers, you should not use my system. You should use the standard system. It was made for you guys. It was made by English speakers for English speakers, so you guys use the standard major system. So who means nothing. Sure, Till? For ghost? So go, it's the same sound. It means the same as the K sound. Go, ko. Same as 7. So 7, go, ko, same thing. 7, ghost, ghost. So 701. Sure. Okay.
On 6, there's also another O.
Which one?
Like 6 on the major system.
See, this. Wait.
G.
The 6. Oh yeah. This is the soft G. So when we say the letter G, that's different from G, right? G would be 7. G is 6. So I can't think of a word in English that has the soft G though. Can you guys think of one? I can't think on the top of my head. In Portuguese, we do use that, but G. Just the letter G. If you say the letter G. Huh? Gist. Exactly. So gist would be 601 because that's the soft G. But if it was guest, it would be 701. So the hard G is in guest and the soft G is in gist. Okay? Yeah, thank you. That's a good one. If I had remembered this one, I would have put in the slides. But yeah, so gist would be 601 and guest 701. Okay, any other questions before we move on? So I want you guys to be like masters of the major system before you guys leave.
Explain sugar a little bit.
Sugar, so sh, broken rater, sh, 6, g, same like k, 7, sh, g, sh, 6, g, 7, it's 4. Is sound of 4. Sugar. 6, 7, 4. Okay? Any other questions? Can we move on? Okay. So now we're going to do the opposite direction. And after this, we go on to memorize other 20 digits of pi, and then you're going to know 30 digits of pi, and then we close the class. So, and then you can go to your mom and dad and be like, oh, look, I know 30 digits of pi. I'm so cool. So yeah, you can go on and say how cool you are for knowing so many digits. So look, now we got to convert from digits to words, because that's the goal of the major system, right? We have digits to memorize, and we want to convert them to words. So now this is the more creative side of the major system. When we have digits to memorize and we want to brainstorm words that represent those digits, right? So here we have all these options of numbers, and we want to think of words that represent them, okay? So we have here the number 10. Imagine you need to memorize to find a word that represents the number 10. How do you find that? Well, 1 is T or D, and 0 is S or Z. So you're going to say in your head, tuss, tuss, toss, tess, tess. You're going to keep saying that out loud or in your head. I recommend you to say it out loud in the beginning until you can, some word come to your mind. No, so like toss, tice, tis, dice. Then you think, oh, dice is a word. Or you keep it saying tuss, toss, toss is a word. Then you keep thinking of that. D, da, des, daisy. And then you keep thinking of words that way. So keep saying them in your head until something pops out. So 901, 9 is either P or B, 0 is S or Z, 1 is T or D. So pasta, pasta, right? Past, pest, pest. Pest would be another one. I didn't put that, but pest. B could be also B, S, T. Best, best. It could be, what else? It could be bosta in Portuguese. We could have many other options, but you keep saying that in your head. So we're gonna do the same one for all the other ones, okay? And if you get stuck in one, skip it, okay? But I want you guys to go like quickly, and I want you guys to say it out loud, okay? If I don't hear you guys like saying it, like but trying to say the sounds, like please, this is really important for you to get a sense of how this is done. Like the 5-7, it would be, what is the 5 sound? Don't look it up. Try to recall it first. L. 7 is G. G. So try to play with it. Lug. Lug, 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 lug. Try to keep saying it in your head until you find words that map to it. Try to find at least one word. Okay. So I'll give you guys some minutes. If you can't remember one of the digits, let me know. Remember, don't try to write it down. Like don't try to convert the digits to letters and then try to think of a word using those letters. Think always about sounds. So that's why I'm telling you to try to say it out loud, because I don't want you guys to connect the digit to a letter and then form a word. You need to convert the digit to a sound, and then the sound to something. So we are not going to use words at all. You don't need to think of words as like a set of letters, but a set of sounds. we want to think phonetically. Because most of the mistakes using the major system come from confusing letters with the sounds. We want to think only in terms of sounds, only phonetically. And try to think of words that are visualizable. Okay, we want to think of words that are visualizable. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. When you finish, you raise your hand and I check. And if you have a question, raise your hand. I will also help you. This can actually be very hard, by the way, depending on the combination. The longer the string of digits, the harder it is to think of a word. It can be names, definitely. It's especially good when you know someone with that name, because then you can imagine that person in your memory palace. But never choose your mom, because then you can't imagine too much. So never choose your mom. Yeah, there's one of the books I used to recommend you guys. It was in the syllabus is Moonwalking with Einstein, and one of the parts of the book, the author is like learning the methods and so on. And the guy who's teaching him the methods mentioned that he had his mom in the list of words to represent numbers. We're gonna learn in the next class, like we're gonna have pre-made list of words to represent each pair of numbers, so that we don't need to spend time brainstorming words. We're gonna memorize, like have a pre-made list, and we're gonna memorize very quickly. But he used his mom in the list, and very quickly he found out that that was not a good idea, because we want to imagine images that are crazy, very crazy, and that can be a little bit, yeah, they can go too much, I would say. So don't choose your mom. Sure. Let me check. Everything else seems good. Try to think of things that are visualizable. For any of those that you cannot visualize, like that's not an object or a person, try to think of something that's actually visualizable.
O R no português, ele vai tipo ficar com R ou tipo A, R,
Como a gente fala português, qualquer som de R ou H usa como 4. É mais fácil pra gente.
É, nosso R normal.
Nosso R normal. Ha, Ré, Ri, Ró, Ru, ou Ra, Ré, Ri, Dó, Ru. Ra, Ré, Ri, Dó, Ru. Junta o R que a gente tem e o R do inglês, tudo 4. Mas o 2 T's do inglês, o letter, eu usaria como 1. Tá? Eu, particularmente. Apesar de soar um pouco parecido com o nosso R, ele é um pouco diferente. E como ele usa a letra T, eu particularmente achei que ficaria confuso se eu usasse o 4. Mas é opção sua. Eu vou deixar como você preferir. Aí é uma opção. É opcional. Porque não é um fonema de R. Mas se você não consegue distinguir a diferença, eu também não. Mas é. Anyone else with questions or finished? Just let me know. Again, try to think of words that are visualizable. And you can brainstorm multiple words for the same number, because it's always good to have multiple options. It's always good to have multiple options for you to choose from. Okay. 5 minutes have passed actually, so theoretically we should be done at this point. But like, where are you guys at? Because I want to give you guys the chance to go through at least all of them and try to brainstorm all of them. Where are you guys at? 66. Okay. Where are you guys at? 66. Where else? Oh, 95. Okay. So around here. That's good. That's good. So, okay, I'll give other 2 minutes. If you're stuck in the same one for too long, skip it. So we'll give you guys one more minute, and then we go on to show the answers, and then we memorize other 20 digits of pi. Okay, can I show the answers? Is it fine? Okay, so these are the answers, some ideas. So 57, Luke, Lego, lock. 82, fan, fin, van, vein. 30, Messi, mouse, mice would work as well. 741, cord, grid. 00, Susie, Zeus. 32, money, Moana. 94, Pier, bra. 097, Spike, Spock. 80, notice that Spock, it's C-C-K, but it's one sound of K. So Spock is 097. 86, fish. 11, toad, Ted. 95, ball. 66, judge. 104, taser. And 9, web, bow, bowl. No, bowl would be 95. And any questions about these that you don't understand and you feel like, no, that's wrong, that should not be that? Any questions about this? Can everyone see why these connections are this way? Is it fine? Because then we're going to move on to memorize the 20 digits of pi. So let's go then. So, any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, so let's memorize the other 20 digits of pi. These are the digits A9, 79, 32, 38, 46, 26, 43, 38, 32, 79. Okay, so we're gonna, with the major system, we can group them by chunks of any size, but we're gonna choose to encode them 2 by 2 because it's easier that way, and it's still somewhat efficient. And the longer the chunk is, the harder, the fewer words available you have, right? It's harder to find a word that matches 5 sounds than it is to find a word that matches 2 sounds, right? So the shorter it is, the easier it is, but the longer it is, the more efficient your images are going to be. So we want to strike this middle point of effectiveness and efficiency. So we're going to do 2 by 2. And we're going to place 2 images in each of the remaining 5 locations. So remember, we chose a memory palace and chose 10 positions. We used 5 so far. So there are 5 remaining positions. So you should have written the positions in a place somewhere, in a notebook or on a laptop. So now you're going to go back, check the positions you chose. For the last 5 positions, they are free. They're still free in your memory palace. And we are going to place these last 5 combinations. So we have 89, 79, 32, 38, 46, 26, 43, 38, 32, 79. And now we're going to create an image for each pair of digits. So in this case, we have 89, Phoebe works. 79, we can use cap. Cap works. And then you imagine an image joining Phoebe and cap. You can imagine, let's say, Phoebe eating a cap. Imagine Phoebe eating a cap, and you put that in your 6th position in the memory palace. And that's going to be there, representing these 4 digits. And then when you look at it again, you imagine Phoebe on the left, cap more to the right, and it's eating the cap. So it's going to be Phoebe 89, Phoebe B 89, cap, K sound, P sound, 7, 9. So Phoebe A9, cap 7, 9. So 8, 9, 7, 9. So that's how we would recall it later. And we are going to do the same for all of those and place in the other positions. Okay. So you go to 32, try to think of a word. Go to 38, try to think of something. Join both of them and place in the memory palace. And we're going to do that to all of them and fill the memory palace. We'll give you guys some minutes, and hopefully we're going to be able to recite all the 30 digits of pi, the first 30 digits of pi. If you have any questions, any difficulty with a specific number, skip it. Okay. You skip it, and then later on, when you finish the other ones, you come back to it. And if you still can't think of something, then you ask me. Okay. So now we're memorizing the remaining 20 digits among the first 30 of pi. So we go pair by pair, convert to an image, and place there in the remaining 5 positions of the memory palace. If you have difficulty with one of them, with converting one of them, skip it and get back to it at the end. And if you still can't figure it out, then you ask me. When you finish, if you manage to finish all of them, raise your hand. Or if you have a question. So as an example, for the first one, it's I imagine Phoebe for the 8-9, Phoebe from Friends, the show. And here you have 7-9, can imagine a cap. So in the 6th position of the memory palace, I can imagine Phoebe eating a cap. So you can imagine that. Then you move to the next locus, the next position. Convert 32 to an image, 38 to another. Join them, put there, move on. I recommend you guys to, when you finish an image, write down next to the locus, next to the position in your list, so that you, if you forget later on, you can check it. But it's always good if you forget to spend a little bit of time trying to remember it first before checking. The mental effort that you spend trying to recall the memory also strengthens it. It strengthens it. Again, remember, it's easier to remember, to think of a word when you say the phonemes out loud, like an idiot. Just just keep saying like that, and it's easier to think of something. Also, for the positions in the memory palace, I said that in the last lecture. I don't know if everyone remember today, but when you choose the positions, it's always good to choose in a clockwise manner. So you enter the room and you choose the positions clockwise. So if I chose this room, I would enter the room in my imagination, and I would choose the positions in this order. So like clockwise. That makes it easier. So we maintain this consistency throughout the entire memory palace. That makes it easier for you to have consistency, and it's easier for you to remember the route later on. Okay. Okay. In 1 minute, I'll show some the ideas I would have for these numbers, and then we recall the digits. We visualize and recall the digits. So you guys have 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute passed, so I'm gonna show the answers. You guys ready? Can I show them? So here, these are the ideas. I would have like 32 Moana, 38 is Muff. It's like the thing for like winter, to protect like the hens, and 46 Archie, 26 Nacho, 43 Army, 38 Maeve, 32 Money, 32 repeated. I use different words just just to be different, to give other ideas. 79 Cup. So the first one I used cap, but the second one I used cup. You could have thought of something like mini or something like that. There are many options for this. Okay, many options. These are just some ideas. But if you didn't think of anything, we can use those and imagine that in your memory palace. So for the numbers that you didn't think of anything, you can use the images that I created. Okay? Because then we can memorize all these digits together, and then we recite together. We recall the images together. So, which images did you guys could not think of anything? Was there any number that you could not think of any word that represented it? Okay.
Question: is it bad to reuse like the same number, like 32 that you used before?
It's not so bad. Next class, we're gonna have a pre-made list, and we're gonna reuse the same image over and over again. But here's the thing: from 00 to 99, there are 100 numbers, so they're gonna repeat on average every 100 options. So it's very rare. You're gonna see it happening. Okay, like in my memory palace, I still see the same characters over and over again. And when you have next class, we're gonna have, instead of 100 images, like instead of 00 to 99, we're gonna have a list of people, a list of actions, and a list of objects. So we're gonna have 330 actually, because we're gonna have images from 0 to 9 too. So 130 images, and that makes the repetition lower. But yeah, it's fine. Any other questions? Any word, any number that you could not think of a word for? Okay. So have you guys memorized that? Could you imagine that in your memory palace? So you go to the 6th position. You imagine the one for A9, 7-9. So what did you guys imagine? I want ideas. What did you guys think for A9, 7-9? Any suggestions? Other than Phoebe cat? Oh, actually, this one was the example I gave. So 32, 38. What do you guys think? $32, $38. Sure. A moon and Maeve. Nice. 46, 26. What do you guys think? Sure.
I thought of a roach and then like Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, nice. For 43, 38. 43, 38. Anybody thought of an image for that? Any ideas? Or nobody got here for 43 and 38? Sure.
Like ram,
Ram, Maeve, nice. Okay. This one is hard. Yeah. 32, 7-9. Sure. A moon and a cab. Nice. Okay. So then you imagine that in each position of your memory palace, join each one of those in pairs and put in each position. Have you guys already done that? Went through all of them? Is it fun? Have all of you guys memorized them already? All these pairs, or do you guys want time? Anyone? Because I'm gonna move to recall the images. Are you guys ready? Okay, let's give some time then. I'm gonna give just a few seconds. Then you close your eyes, try to walk in your memory palace, try to visualize as vividly as you can. Try to imagine each pair of the images interacting in a weird, funny way. If it's too family friendly, then you ask yourself, how can I make this weird? Sure. Muff is like a winter thing. It's you know those old things that you cover like do you have a phone with you? Like, it's really I don't know how to describe. It's really yeah, search it. It's an old thing. I haven't seen a muff in real life. Yes. You guys ready? So imagine something weird happening there and ready to go? Let's try to recall the images first. Okay, I want you guys to close your eyes and try to go each position, trying to recall the images. Just for these last ones, do not forget about the first 5 digits, the first 10 digits. We're gonna think only about the ones we use the major system for. So you go image by image, try to recall each image. So the first image, you can say it out loud for me to know that you guys are moving. Okay, the first image, you're gonna have different images. What is the first image? Phoebe. Okay, next image, Cap. The next image is Cap. The first pair it's Phoebe and a Cap. And then we go to the next locus. What is the image? And the next one? Next image inside that same position? Okay. Then we go to the next locus. What is the image? What is the next image? Then let's go to the next locus. The first image in that locus. Okay. Next image inside the locus. Okay. Next locus. What is the next image? I'm not keeping track, so I do not know when we end. Do we have another locus? That's the last locus? Okay. So now if you're having trouble recalling it, go back to, try to read the images again to see if you can remember the images you created. Okay. So that you can check if you can remember them. Then we're going to go back and try to recall them again. Can you guys remember it? Okay. Now that you already checked the images you created for the ones you forgot, let's go back and close your eyes and try to recall again. And I want you guys to say it out loud, very strongly and confidently. So we go to the first, the sixth locus actually in the memory palace. What is the first image in that locus? Okay, next image. 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 Awesome, beautiful. Now the digits. Now we're going to recall the digits instead. So we go first locus. What are the digits? 8, 9. Then 7, 9. Next 3, 2. Then 3, 8. Yes. Then we move on. 4, 6. Yes. Then 2, 6. Next 4, 3. Yes. 4, 3. And then 3, 8. Then we go. Move on. 3, 2. And yes, 7, 9. Now let's go back to the beginning of our memory palace and try to recall the ones we use the shaper system. Okay, it's still there. The images should still be there. So what are the images there? Close your eyes, try to recall the images, and try to recall actually the digits. So the first digit, the first decimal place is 1, then 9, then. Okay, now we are using the major system. Let's keep going. We have 8 from Phoebe, yes. So 8, then, yes, 7, then, yes, 9, and then, yes, then, 4, then, yes, then, yes, 2, yes, then, let's go. Yes, 4, 3, then 3, and yes, 8, then 3, and 2, and 7, and 9. Okay, awesome. So we recalled the 30 digits. If you struggle doing it, this is hard. This is the beginning. It's hard to get it from the beginning because it is a new language. So it is hard to do it. So some conclusions. Now you're capable of memorizing any number you want, absolutely any number. And you know 30 digits of pi. You just need a little bit of practice for you to actually get the gist of it and actually be fast at it. Because with time, you're going to be capable of recalling it very, very fast. And it's going to become a second nature for you. If you don't want to forget these digits, you can use Anki, which is something I already covered in the course, so that you can keep reviewing them. So the major system is a language. You need to practice it, or else you're going to forget the major system, okay? Or else you're going to get rusty, just like a language. So you need practice, especially in the beginning. If I spend like some time without practicing the major system, I will still remember it because I practiced for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. But in the beginning, you're going to forget very quickly. So you can use the major system to memorize all these things. Your phone number, even if you already know your phone number, use it to memorize your phone number. Your relatives' phone numbers, friends, bank details. You can use it to memorize credit and debit card information. You can memorize your ID or passport number. You can memorize birthdays. You can memorize passwords, lock codes. Any number whatsoever, you can use the major system to memorize it. So these are some ideas, some exercises for you guys so that you don't forget the major system, so that you can get fluency in the major system. And a very important exercise for you to do in the fall break, in the weeks to come, for you to actually get fluency in the major system, get really fast. Every time you see words, convert them to numbers. Because now, all words, they can be converted to numbers. Now, from now on, try to convert the words and text you read into numbers. So here, from, what is the number that represents from? Repeat with me. From, F, it's 8. From, the R is 4. M is 3, right? From. So you can read now numbers in texts. So from, repeat with me, it's 8, 4, 3. Now, 2, on, 2, try, 2, convert, the words, 4, 1, 0, and 2, 1, texts, 1, tech, 7, tech, 1, 7, 0, t, 1, 0. So text is hard, okay? 1, Tech 7, S 0, T 1, S 0. So it's long. U, nothing. Read 4, 1, 9, 4, 0. So we have all these numbers. And now you can read text as numbers. Now, see you after fall break. How do you convert this? 0, nothing, 8, 1, 5, beautiful. Nice. See you after fall break. Yeah. Keep practicing. Memorize all numbers you want. And memory has no limits. So let's use it.